Hello, and thanks for joining me. Well, this will probably be the last video on this drill press here. It's pretty much done. We're just going to put some final touches on it and put the drawers in it. Let me show you what we're going to do. The drawers for sure. They'll be this color oak right here, and they'll have a recess right here like the drawers on my south bend where you can just reach in and pull them. We'll probably get started on that first. And we've got to put a power switch on it. And this thing used to have a light, and it was bolted right here. Just like that. Kind of on the fence about using that. It's a unique looking light. Obviously I'd clean it up if I used it, but I'm not sure I like it. I may clean it up and just see if I like it, but there's 3 holes here that I can use to mount a switch. So what I plan on doing is cutting that down and re-welding it so it's about the size of a normal switch box, bolting that right there, using it for my switch, and then if I want to, I can add my lamp to the side of that. Bolt the lamp to the side of that. It's plenty stout for bolting the lamp to. And then I have a new cast iron pulley coming for this, and a new lightweight, it's the same size belt as this, belt coming. I think the original thicker belt I had on this was varying in width, and I think that'll smooth out the drive. If not, it's a shorter belt too, so the motor will sit up about like that. It'll look a little better. But if it still bounces around, we'll come up with something else. Anyway, let's get started. This right here is looking down on the cabinet or the stand for the drill press. This is a 3x3 square tubing, and this is a drawer. That's the drawer front. I'm going to have a 1/4 inch space on each side of the drawer and a 1/4 inch on the top and the bottom of each drawer. And these are all the sizes we need. The drawer slide itself takes up a 1/2 inch on each side, and the drawer sides are going to be 5/8 thick. I think I got a plan that will work and make it easy. But we'll see. Okay, I've got all the pieces cut to their basic size. I still have some more cutting to do. But these are slats here, and they're spacers. They're 1/4 inch thick. And they're going to help us maintain the spacing around the drawers and position the drawer slides. It'll be more clear as we go. Okay, our drawer fronts and the sides are the same height. Usually that's the case. It doesn't have to be the case. And this is for this specific size drawer or type of drawer. There's many different kinds of drawers. But we're going to have a 1/4 inch space on the top of our drawer and between each drawer. We're going to double check our dimensions here. We're going to have a 1/4 inch space at the bottom of the drawer. The space for our drawer is exactly 24 inches. So between the top of this 1/4 inch slat and this should be 24 inches, which is exactly. So we've just double checked that it'll fit height-wise. Okay, our drawer fronts are already cut to size, both height and width. Right now we got to cut this dado right here, or rabbit. Needs to be 7/8 this way, and this way I want to leave about 3/16 on the front. This dimension is not real critical, but the less stock we leave on the front, the more room we got to nail to our, the stronger the drawer will be, because we'll put a nail in right there and it'll give us more holding force. So I'm not going to leave much wood right there, probably about 3/16. Crude, but it works. Okay, that's the last drawer side. Now we got to open that up to fit that plywood. I think that's about it. That's perfect. You don't want it too tight. Perfect. I recommend using gloves on this black stain. I found out the hard way, this stuff really stains your hands. I'm not too worried about dirty hands, but it's hard to get off. Pretty nasty stuff. And a rag works better for application. Okay, here's what I'm thinking about doing. This is just a sample. Embedding a piece of steel in there. The front of the drawers look kind of plain. I'm probably crazy, but I thought it'd look cool to put a little steel in front of there for a trim piece. So I made this fly cutter here. If that's what you want to call it. Groove cutter. Obviously I've tested it, but I didn't test it on this jig. Trying to determine exactly where I want that. Okay, I think that's about where I want the groove. It'd be cool real close to the edge, but I'm afraid it'll chip out. Maybe I can go a little bit closer. I'm afraid the wood will chip out, tear out. Yeah, that's as close as I dare get. I think I can use this wood here as a depth stop. I've got this piece of wood here that's an eighth inch thinner than our wood, which is how deep I want that groove. Okay, here's our test piece. Same cutout as the drawer. Oh, hell yeah. I like it. That's better. Well, I don't like it. It's right in the way where debris from drilling is going to get right in the switch. Oil, metal chips, what have you. I think it's time to take a different approach. I was going to use one switch for the light and one switch for the power, possible future light. But I don't think I'm going to use this. I got this bracket clamped to aluminum. I was watching a TIG welding video on YouTube, and they said it was a good way to stop distortion. but it takes a little more amperage, and I was a little low on amperage, but not much. Yeah, I like that switch. The galvanized doesn't really look original, but I think it looks all right. It's kind of an Art Deco plate on there. I ordered a shorter drive belt and it ended up being too short. Fortunately, I didn't spend too much money on it. Also ordered another pulley and it didn't come in. I guess the next step is to put some drawers in this thing. Okay, let's build some drawers. Boy, I like the way those drawers came out. Anyway, I probably should have left this right here unstained because we're going to glue that. I think I haven't put a finish on it yet. I believe the glue will at least help. Anyway, these drawers are constructed like this. And there'll be nails in there like that. And we've got to cut a dado like that right here. And then a back will slide in down to where the drawer bottom fits in. And we'll cut the drawer bottom to fit. Also, I haven't cut this to width yet because it's based on how deep we cut these dados. But we're going to cut these dados right here, right now, on all the drawers. And I'm going to do that on my router table. You could do this on a table saw with a dado blade. It'd be every bit as good. When you do something like this, don't dado both those ends. Make sure you're dadoing opposing ends. I've done that before. Pretty irritating. Okay, I got our drawer slides turned around backwards. In other words, that's supposed to be on this end. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to get an accurate measurement here. I'm going to loosely clamp this on here, get a measurement right here, 13.5, verify that on this end, 13.5, and then measure for the back of my drawer. Could do this with a tape measure, but there's always a chance of error. Direct measurement's always more accurate. So that's how long all our drawer backs should be. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all those. Okay, I'm putting a couple of wood screws in each drawer. Just some added insurance. This is where drawers typically fail. Cool, still square. In case you're wondering, if any of you are wondering, this wood right here is white oak and this is poplar, yellow poplar. And interesting thing about yellow poplar, this green color will turn chocolate brown. It'll look like walnut when it's exposed to sunlight. Interesting wood. It's a soft wood, about like pine. Very nice wood though. Good for drawer sides. Well, there they are. Now we've got to cut the bottoms. Okay, that slot's about a 1/4 inch deep in the drawer front there. So I'll just lay it in there like that and add maybe 3/16 on this end. And we'll cut them all to that size. As long as it extends past this, that's all that matters. Okay, this is all the drawer bottoms. Yep, that's it. Some people glue these in, some people don't. I've always heard you're supposed to leave them loose in there, but who knows? I've always had good luck leaving them loose. Okay, here's my idea for positioning the drawer slides. Doesn't matter where on the drawer slides are. The top wouldn't be good because it could split out, but it could be the bottom, it could be the middle. But I'm going to aim for the middle because the screws are in the way here. Not that there's going to be any screws in the drawer slides there, but just to avoid those, any possibility. So this stick is 26 inches. Well, the total height of my drawers, or the space, counting the spacer on the bottom and the spacer on the top and all the spaces in between, is 24 inches plus 2 inches for the frame on the top of my cabinet. That bar that goes across the top. So if I mark the position on these and then stick this up against the bottom of the cabinet, I'll be able to transfer the marks to the inside of the cabinet. But what I'm going to do here is mark just a random position in the middle of each drawer. Like that. I drilled holes in each one of those positions. Now mark that, the top. Now I've got a ballpoint pen refill that I took out of my pen. It fits perfect in that hole. Makes a mark. Hopefully. And I do the same thing on the other side. I'm doing the same thing inside the cabinet. Put foam on the back of that rule. Hopefully it'll make this a little easier. This is kind of a pain. I just found a hole that I could, there's a bunch of different ways to mount these things, and I just go by one hole, and I found a position and use this little depth gauge to make a mark. Then I use the same hole in the slide to put the screw in so I get the depth the same on. And I've got the horizontal line. I don't know if all that made sense or not. And I've got a little bit of adjustment in that one hole, if you can see that. It's slotted. So that's the one I'm putting it in right there on that mark. Now I'll go mount the other end. On the other end, all I have to do is pivot up to the line. Boy, that was a job to get in there. A lot of weird positions. Okay, these little things we just made, that whole top hole's threaded and the bottom one's a clearance hole for a 1/4-inch bolt. I put a little offset in there, so I'm going to put them right there. A little offset makes it easier to position, but more than anything, it moves it slightly out this way because I had a little bit of interference with the back of the drawer right there. I'm just going to put a piece of 1/4-inch plywood on the back here, and the back of the drawers were going to hit the plywood if I made it flush with the inside of that bar right there. So I had to create a little offset there. Well, there they are. All those upper ones, I kind of stood on my head to get those in there. I hope that's wide enough. Wow. Could be about a 1/4 inch wider, but guess what? We're going to use it. Boy. Good enough. Well, let's see if this plan works. The final moment when we see if all my measurements were right. Theoretically, I should be able to just line that mark up there. And put a screw in. Looks like I'll have to put in 2 and then take the drawer out to put the 3rd one in. Drum roll, please. Oh, there we go. I thought it didn't go in as far as it should, but it is. I like it. There's like a catch. It's a little bit of resistance. I think I got it a little bit too tight this way. Probably a metric dimension on this slide instead of 1/2 inch. It's probably 13 millimeter or whatever it is. Anyway, let's put the rest of them in and see how it does. Drawer number 3. All right. I was a little concerned about these brackets hitting the back of the drawer, but it looks like it's just almost hitting it. I got lucky there. All we got to do now is put that on there and we're done. All right. Well, I like it. Let's give it a try. I don't like not having an attached vise. Well, that low speed is nice. Oh, it's a smooth running machine. I like it. I need more room underneath the chuck. It's not quite as good as a moving table, but it's got some fairly good capacity. Anyway, that about wraps it up. That concludes the 1917 Avey drill press restore. Thanks for joining me. Be sure and subscribe and ring that bell. 250. Love that low speed. $600 for a top speed. Kind of slow, but that's all right.